Welcome back to our COVID-19 video. So we're just going to give a little preamble here. We're going to talk a little bit about training training without a gym. So we're just going to have, after this, we'll play a few clips of exercises you can do at home. We recorded some with a kettlebell and resistance band. Because a lot of people do have a resistance band at home, or they have some kind of kettlebell, but you can also improvise on the kettlebell. You can just get something heavy, like there's some kind of weight you can use for a lot of these, and like you just got to use your imagination. We'll talk a little bit about it. Firstly, we want to talk about some of the kind of existential crisis you're having around training via the COVID-19 closing your gym. So first of all, if the likelihood is if your gym is closed for more than 2 weeks, which it very likely could, you could be in a state where you don't want to go out, can't go out, gym isn't open. If you're looking at time period of 2 to 3 weeks or greater, it will have a significant impact on your training. Let's be real about it, I suppose. If you're terms of like the rest of this year, it will, if you're not able to keep training somewhat, like even once a week, it will affect if you're a weightlifter or a powerlifter. Now, long term, over the course of your whole career, it won't make no effect. Absolutely none.
And that's, I think, like,
that's important.
That's really important to note that, like, trying to get out to a gym just because you're going to miss 3 or 4 weeks of training is like, it's no big deal. Like, there's plenty you can do at home. Small dips in performance over the course of a career aren't a big deal, so like, don't be stressing about not being able to train. Obviously we all like training, we like getting to the gym, we like interacting with the usual people we interact, but it's not a big deal that you're going to miss some training now. This video will hopefully make the time you train at home a small bit more productive. It might give you some, like, these might be exercises that you did loads when you started training that you might have kind of, or not at all, but you might have kind of deviated away from them and gone to more speciality stuff. But hopefully this will just be a small bit of a roadmap or a framework to kind of base some home sessions around.
So just know that, like, you not training now is probably one of the most legitimate reasons you can be not training. Like, so you're helping other people, like you're effectively doing your job as a citizen of your country. You are, like, that is what it is, like, don't fucking laugh at me, right? The fucking YouTube, like, yeah?
That in front of the lads!
We're a fucking business, right? No, but like, it is social obligation for you to not train, so know that, like, it's not a whimsical reason that you're not training, so be content with the reason. Like, it's not you being lazy or anything like that. Like Dara said, if you try and put some of this, you could, like, if you haven't done some of these exercises, like, if you look at like a lot of professional athletes, they'll have done, this would be like base training for them, This is just like, Ilya was doing an interview with weightlifting else there, we were just listening to, and he talked about having a base, before he did the Bulgarian methods. So a lot of you, anyone listening to this video, if you're any kind of athlete, which I assume you are, or just general gym goer, you will benefit from all of these. And obviously, maybe you won't be able to directly replicate exactly what we're doing, of course you won't, but it's very easy just to figure out how you can apply this to your own setting.
You might not have a 30 kilo black Labrador.
You might not have a 30 kilo black Labrador, but you will have a baby, or a toddler, or a wife, or you may have kettlebells. A lot of people have resistance bands, kettlebells.
Yeah.
In terms of coming back to training when this is all over, we would advise going really, really slowly. Like act like you've just been injured and you don't know how it's feeling. Let's say you've injured your back or your wrist or whatever injury it has. So come back like you've been injured. Go lower your expectations. So, like, take it way, way back. You can never start too light. So in 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks time, when you finally get back to a good regime, hopefully this is all blown over. Get out of the Winchester.
I think, like, the last point then that I want to make is just, like, be patient. Like, don't go full balls to the wall out on these, like, home-based sessions. Just, like, take them as 20-minute blocks or 30-minute blocks. Like, if you make these sessions short enough, so say like 25 minutes, you could end up doing 2 of these a day and get a huge amount of training in.
Yeah.
Or else you could make them half an hour, just do them 3 or 4 times a week, keep yourself tipping over, and then get out the other side.
A lot of times people will have injuries they're carrying and they're putting them off recovering. Like, so someone, I think weightlifting nationals is in 6 weeks, because someone mentioned it yesterday. And one question, so they were saying, like, a lot of people will put off injuries or put off fixing an injury because they don't have the time or they need to keep training. So if you have an injury, try figure out some rehabilitation, or even just use this as a time that you can kind of rest at and let it recover. Because sometimes we can fix an injury through proactive means, through rehab, through like kind of active recovery or whatever you want to call it, or getting massages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just need to rest something and leave it alone, and then it will come back. So try to look at this as a positive. It's obviously a very stressful time for a lot of people. So in the grand scheme of things, training does take a step backwards. Hopefully this will help you. And now we're going to head to the video.
I didn't say yo.
You didn't say
I didn't appreciate clicks.
Alright, here's a little preamble. Or no, this is our post-amble.
So this is the most important member of Seeker Strength, Seiko.
Obviously the idea here is you don't get Seiko, you get anything you can possibly grab. Just anything heavy, sandbag, bag full of firewood.
And things being awkward is no bad thing either.
Your kids. Yeah.
So like find something heavy enough that's going to be awkward. Obviously the normal air squat is going to be great.
The basics.
In the free program we're releasing, we have a lot of like tempo squats. So like make things more difficult, not by adding weight, but also by slow on the way down, pausing in the bottom, slow on the way back up as well.
Yeah.
Just like hitting the fundamental movements of making them a small bit more difficult.
You can never do enough of these.
Split squats.
Yeah, just get your splits. You should be doing these all the time anyway, but if you're not doing them, now's a great time to practice.
And making sure both legs lock out at the same time is...
Yep.
I should probably be doing it a little better here, but...
Knees over toes is no problem.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're just doing this in the gym because it was convenient, but...
A great way of making these a bit harder is to raise the front foot as well.
Oh, yeah.
So if you go to like the bottom step of your stairs, or if you have a step outside the front of your house.
Your toilet. So a lot of times people have kettlebells. I know there's like 4 or 5 at home, and we've a random sandbag and stuff. So literally, the world's your oyster when you have a kettlebell. If you have a kettlebell, hopefully you can do any numerous things. Fitz is doing some kettlebell cleans, thrusters, kettlebell racked squats. Like you do a lot with a kettlebell.
Yeah.
If you don't have one, now might be a good time to go get one and get the heaviest possible one you can get, and you won't regret it. It'll be there forever anyway. Fitz hated doing that. I'll have some random plyos. So obviously Fitz is using a box here, and we'll cut to another clip in a minute where you can do them. But this is literally just an idea. Like, so this isn't the hard and fast rules for what you have to do at home. These are just examples of you just like what you can do, figure it out.
I think the important thing on this is so you can make box jumps way harder by landing with a straight leg, rather than landing in a squat, and vice versa. Like if you only have kind of a ledge outside, maybe on a patio or something that's pretty high, you might actually have to land a lot deeper in the squat.
Fitz is doing little depth jumps here. So Fitz hasn't been doing depth jumps, and as you can see,
it's incredibly obvious.
He's fucking terrible at them.
Yeah.
Ideally, Fitz would be up near Seiko's head. His feet should be, if he was athletic. And you have the levers to do it, or the levers, depending where.
There was a time when I could do these quite well.
Yeah.
But even the dog now at this stage is telling me to stop doing them.
So Fitz is trying to land on his toes and get as high as possible, trying to minimize contact with the ground. Here's just some regular old box jumps anywhere.
So then, and like the other point in this is like make it a box jump with a lateral component as well. So like obviously this isn't very high.
Yeah.
So doing like a broad jump into it could help a lot as well.
Here's some little footsie drills. Now this is for everyone, anyone, any athlete, any kind of physical literacy, as Fitz likes to call it. Is that what you like to say? Physical literacy? Yeah, these are, and if you're looking to get into plyometrics, and a lot of people are, here we just some Superman planks. So this is what we call a Superman plank. Some people call it lying on your stomach and hands and feet in the air. But this is just some random plank variations.
We can call these like a plank walk, or elbows to hands.
Push up the plank or something, or Superman to plank.
And this is like where the kind of fitness revolution on YouTube is great.
Yeah.
Because if you go and find some core smash workout, go find one of those, follow it for like 15 minutes.
There's literally no harm. Mostly the point of this video is just to be imaginative and do stuff that's hard.
And making things hard in different ways other than just adding weight. Yeah,
because you were obviously limited by adding weight. So Fitz here is adding a new range of motion. So like the step we just showed him doing box jumps on is a perfect place you could do that. Like you're all smart people, like where, add a little bit of height. And like get a bucket and fill it with sand, and you can make it heavy as balls. Or grab your toddlers if you have toddlers. Like Fitz's like lower back hamstrings, you can never do enough hamstrings, and a lot of you probably don't need to go that heavy for your hamstrings. Again, a lot of people have a kettlebell at home, and as well you should probably go a lot slower on those. Yeah, definitely. Just to make them a bit more difficult. Again, this is a doozy. Yeah, very, very good. This is very good for stability as well. Like if you're primarily a kind of strength-based athlete, and you do a lot of like two-legged work, so like squats and deadlifts and stuff like that, you're probably going to find some inconsistencies from side to side and some instability. Alright, if you have a resistance band, you can go get one surely at this stage if you're not locked up yet. Fitz is doing some good mornings. I'd like to see a little bit slower on the way down there, Fitz. Definitely a bit slower on the way down. A bit stricter with the mid-back.
Do you know the thing with the mid back is
Yeah.
like, so if you were doing these, you could actually do these as Jefferson curls as well.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
start with like thoracic flexion and then like full back rounding.
Yep.
Assuming that you're capable of taking that amount of flexion.
Yeah, fit some rows. These should be, you should be doing these, and once you go back to training, these are a brilliant row.
Yeah, and then obviously doubling up the band just to make it harder.
Accommodating resistance or whatever. Now the classic. Try get a little goal for these now. If the end of these, however long weeks you're banned from the gym, try get up to a set of like 50 or 60, no matter who you are, fit or unfit.
Yeah.
That's a solid goal. You'll have some great titties after.
They are, so like pick a few fundamental movements and get a lot better at them.
Here's Fitz doing some elevated, obviously not a bench, a couch, a step, whatever it is, doesn't matter. These are our classic little pike push-ups. Now these are a great one. This is like...
So if you've never done these before,
yeah,
the best thing possible is to start on the bottom step of your stairs.
Yeah.
And then the next day or the next time you do that session, you go up to the second step of your stairs, third step of your stairs, and then gradually bring your feet a lot higher than you.
All right, here's some...
This is a partner wood chopping workout where your partner never showed up.
Like, we talk about GPP phases a lot and do stuff that's not specific. So now is a great time to go into a new GPP phase if you want.
Yeah.
Like, and wood chopping, wait till you see Fitz at the end of this. He's like, oh, I don't know if I got in this clip, but he is wrecked after it. So like, chopping wood is great. It's super non-specific. It's so far from specific than you could possibly get.
Unless you're a wood chopper.
Yeah, like unless you're a competitive wood chopper, which
unless
is very
you're
cool.
In the Still Timber Sports League.
Oh, it's amazing what they do. They're in great shape.
Yeah.
Like chopping wood is... Fitz is usually very smooth at chopping wood.
These logs are very soft.
All right, Fitz. Here we go again. All right, here's some more footwork drills. Fitz is using the tiles as a fake ladder, so the patterns between them.
So like if you don't have tiles or like a kind of area like this, and it's just concrete outside, just go get some chalk, draw some lines like you're doing hopscotches when you're a kid. Obviously if you've like speed and agility ladders, they're very, very useful. And finally, this is the opposite of speed.
Thanks for listening from Owen, Fitz and Seiko. We appreciate the time you take to watch the video. If you have any questions about your specific scenario, or you just don't really know what to do, or you have any kind of comments or anything, just put them down below on the YouTubes and we'll try and answer your case specifically. So just some notes on some of the bodyweight exercises or hypertrophy work. You can find there. Do you want to make a point?
Seiko wants you to use speed as your main indicator on the sprints.
Yeah, so on the sprints, plyos, depth, stuff like that, so use speed as your indicator. As soon as you start getting slow, cut it out, leave it alone, give it a day or two. And on the hypertrophy exercises, some of the bodyweight ones, you can take the failure, like push-ups, maybe some of the Nordics, some of the hamstring work. Not all sets, so try to keep the one set maximum a day of failure. And
what I'd say as well is, because this is a different kind of form of training than you'd be used to, and your frequency might be a lot higher, because if you're working from home or something, you might be able to do it twice a day. Use like the amount of DOMs you have as an indicator. So like, try and have a moderate amount of DOMs basically is what I'm saying. If you're doing a lot more isometric work than you've done usually, that amount of kind of muscle fatigue and muscle breakdown could catch up with you very, very fast. So just have like a small bit of soreness every morning and you should be perfect.
Don't go crazy on calories either. Because you feel like you're putting out more of an effort, you're exerting yourself because you may not have done much cardio or plyo work or foot drills or any of this kind of stuff. You might feel like you're burning a lot more calories, but you probably aren't, so just don't go crazy. Thanks for listening.
Go find our free program.
Yeah, how are they going to get it?
So if you go onto our Instagram page and just go through the posts from this week, you'll see a post and the instructions will be in that.
I'm not going to say hit subscribe. I'm not going to say.
Pew pew pew! Like and subscribe.
Thanks guys. Hit it,